Greetings, salutations, and other big words. My name's Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios, weekly Wing It number 129 here on Rumble and YouTube. And starting off with us tonight is Mr. Billy Bobsack.
Couple.
And also joining us as usual with that wonderful art, Mr. Frederick Guimon.
Oh, how do you do, good sirs?
Doing pretty good.
Nice. I'm just drawing some buildings today with my little transparent ruler and my .02 marker, doing one floor at a time. It's the best part of drawing is drawing all those little windows.
Yeah, in bricks. Lots and lots of bricks.
Well, there's no bricks in this one. Well, yeah, I got a few bricks in the close-up here.
A few of your panels, you've really knocked yourself out on bricks.
Yeah, but seeing as I'm the writer, the next chapter is going to be in the desert, where I just have to draw one curvy line in the background. We're done.
Auto, but you got to draw each individual sand, or you're not a true indie artist.
I'm going to get 3D assets for those.
I want to see texture, dang it. Do a stucco building, full texture.
Yeah, I might do a little toothbrush splatter at the bottom here to give like a little bit of dramatic kind of effect with the speed lines and the ground cross hatches and stuff. It'll make it interesting.
Cool. Well, today I stopped in at a gas station. I wanted to get myself a coconut water. Looked around, couldn't find any. And I only found one kind of coconut drink there was, and it was this Red Bull. I don't drink energy drinks unless you count. Does coffee count as an energy drink?
What was the jerk Red Bull has bull sperm in it?
I don't know. But I figured since I don't drink energy drinks, I thought this would be a neat little experiment.
No, coffee does not count as an energy drink as far as I'm aware of. Energy drinks are a different category. I mean, they have caffeine in it. Like they have guanera beans, which have a high concentrated caffeine.
Listen, coffee is the initiation that you're finally an adult. That's what coffee is.
Well, let's find out.
That was alcohol.
No.
Let's find out if this makes me more yappy tonight.
Because here's the thing. You're going to drink, coffee and buy coffee at the age of 18. I can really do it.
Well, my brother doesn't drink coffee. Never did.
Yeah, but he's also special. Like that, you know?
It's like drinking a Sour Patch Kid.
Don't know my brother. Readout says coffee is not an energy drink. Thank you, Readout. Because coffee is essential to survival. There you go.
That's right. Chocolate-covered roasted coffee beans should be in every survivalist kit. Nice little snack.
If
you let it bug out, you don't have time for a caffeine headache.
You know, people don't really write about during a zombie apocalypse of like the, week-long headache that comes from running out of coffee. Longer being able to have it for most people.
Oh, those are horrible.
You got to have coffee in your bug out bag, guys.
Yeah. It's also a nice little morale boost, too, when you need it. I get the taste of energy drink out of my mouth. Give me the coffee. So, should I play this?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me find it. I posted it over here. Nintendo is really, really trying to piss me off, apparently.
Okay, what did you do to Nintendo, Wrangler? Did you not?
Yeah, at the police station, they were like, show us on this Pikachu plushie where Nintendo touched you.
It is kind of funny how much people were hyped about the Nintendo Switch for its announcement and shit, and just look at it now. It finally came out.
I was one of them. I was very hyped. Even at 450, I'm like, it's steep, but I'll deal with it. But then the games, and then the legal shenanigans, and the end user license agreement, and I was just getting more and more feeling like I was kicked in the groin on that. To the point I'm not even getting a Switch 2 now.
I mean,
I figured they'll learn their lesson, they'll humble themselves, and then we'll come back to them. But maybe not.
Bowser, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we should all seen it coming, guys.
All right. Let's see. Present. Share screen and. All right. This is. I'm not too familiar with them. This channel is called Dreamcast Guy. But he's got news about Nintendo. I was sitting here thinking I'm going to get a Switch, another Switch 1 to replace my console because sooner probably rather than later that thing's going to crap out on me. And I'd like to have a backup. And I'm not getting a Switch 2. So I figured I'll get another regular Switch, stash that, so I could keep playing my games when my current one dies. And then within an hour, I find this video.
Hey there, gamers. Cascade here. Today we're talking about Nintendo because they just released a statement that is so stupid. It's so outlandish. I truly don't even understand it, but they have announced they're increasing the price every version of it, OLED, non-OLED, but they also said they're jacking up the price of controllers, of digital and physical games. This truly boggles the mind, and I have to admit,
it really does.
Hold up.
I did not see this. We should have, but I didn't see this coming.
Everyone saw
What's
this.
up,
Xbox was jumping up the price of their Xbox Series X and S and their controllers and all stuff. Then PlayStation followed suit, so it's actually not surprising that Nintendo's following suit.
Then I was completely oblivious to what was going on with the other consoles because
Yeah, like
I
he's acting like
always confused Nintendo, and now I'm starting to go to Steam.
yeah, like he's acting like this is a big shock. It's not.
It was to me, but like I said, it shouldn't have been. But I figured, you know what? At least I could stick with the Switch 1 where the prices are going to be lower, and then boom.
Yeah, but you should.
that I'm incredibly.
To be honest with you, Steam Deck.
What's that?
You should just get a Steam Deck if you're ever gonna get one. It's gonna be a long time before your Nintendo Switch 1 fucking poops, man.
Hopefully.
Look frustrated because this is the kind of stuff I think is going to kill gaming more than anything else. Is just this ridiculous, rampant corporate greed. How the hell is this not $100 right now? Why are they about to make this thing $400? Let's talk about it. Let's take a look at their stupid excuses. And I want to just explain to you why this is measurably going to damage gaming. Hi, hope you're having a great day. And if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, this is currently just being rolled out in Canada, but historically, whenever there's a...
First of all, it's not going to damage gaming. The only thing that would actually damage gaming is games going to like $100. That will. Just because you would see a lot of games collapse because not a lot of people will be able to buy that many.
Well, I figured they're
one going up in price, not going to affect shit. Vast majority of people who wanted a Nintendo Switch 1 have bought a Nintendo Switch 1, and it's one of the highest selling consoles. So most people have one. It doesn't affect anybody.
You would think, in general, according to market patterns, that would mean the price should be coming down.
That is true. However, all the consoles are going up, and we're like 2 years away from the next generation of consoles, and they're going up. They don't want to eat.
But I thought we were just starting the next generation right now.
No.
The Switch 2 just came out.
Yeah, but that's not the next generation. It would be the PS6 and whatever the fuck Xbox can fuck up on naming. It would be the next
Okay,
generation.
for the other consoles, then yeah, but
That'd be the 10th generation is what the next one would be. And it looks like Sony might be the only one holding out because it is heavily rumored that Xbox is basically just going to have a PC console.
yeah, that's what it's looking like. They're just going to be a PC. I
Which,
think they're cashing all their chips in on the Game Pass model, the Netflix model of gaming there.
it's not that bad of idea because their idea is they want everyone on Game Pass. So
Yeah, for what they want, doing that actually makes sense.
yeah, and they've kind of gotten their ass kicked the last 2 generations. So
SteamOS might throw a wrench in there as well. Like people have been talking about rumors of something called Fremont because of an update they saw in the code. So they're hypothesizing that Steam might come out with like a ready-to-plug TV console. So you basically have computer gaming on your TV.
But here's the thing. That's not going to hurt Microsoft. Microsoft is not wanting to have exclusive platforms or devices that you're going to buy. They're wanting you to just have Game Pass on anything.
Yeah.
So you could have the Steam device. Microsoft's going to want Game Pass to be on there to those people and get them to get it as well, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually Xbox tries to also have it on PlayStation. To have all.
It's actually, I thought some crossover was already happening there. I guess not.
No. The only thing is with PC on Windows, in which they're focusing all their effort on trying to debloat, Windows spyware, so it can run better. It's running better on SteamOS and the Linux and all that, right, Frederick?
Say again, I missed your question.
Games were running better on
Linux, yeah. So despite games not being made for Linux, they tend to perform better because there's no like overhead processes on the actual system, which Microsoft tends to do. So you could imagine if games started being programmed for Linux, it would probably have way more optimization and speed and FPS performance.
Yeah, but it was getting so bad that when Microsoft was literally having to go, all right, we're actually going to have to double down. That's why that handheld. The handheld that is coming out is a partnership. It's not a proprietary device from.
Right, it's with the Ally, you were saying, right?
Yeah, with the fucking naming convention. I'm just fucking call it the Ally. I'm not calling it the real name because it's stupidly long and retarded. Anyways, that one's their actual handheld's been put on hold.
Am I the only one that thinks when I hear Ally, I think LGBTQ ally?
Yeah, it's just
Don't worry. Today's the 30th. It's almost over.
Well, here's the fun part. It never began because almost all companies realized it's done. It's over, guys.
Yeah, it's just Blizzard who went full transgender month.
Yeah, it was.
So did one of my local grocery stores.
Did even Ubisoft go for it this time?
Probably, but I didn't see anything. I went to the Ubisoft building on Friday, but not into Ubisoft, of course. Went to we have a little bar restaurant where you can play kind of board games and order food and beer and stuff. But I don't know. I didn't see anything. But we had flags on the street for one day. They replaced our provincial and country flag with the rainbow and transgender flag. And I was like, oh, fuck this. But the next day after, it was replaced. So whoever did that either got a memo or it was a one-day thing, thankfully.
In leftist Quebec?
Yeah, you'd think there would be way more, but no. It hasn't been that bad. The worst we had was it was during the lockdowns. Every flag was replaced by not the gay flags, but the United Nations flag. So all the police stations flew the United Nations flag for some reason. And even the castle in Old Quebec, we have the Frontenac Castle, it had just an array of United Nations flags for some reason. It felt like we were being taken over during the lockdowns.
Does your nation not have a wall against that?
Our leaders are kind of like threw us under the bus. Like, we have so much immigration right now that it feels like a replacement. Like, we have like 100-fold what immigration used to be. They just amped it up to 100 right now, and it feels like they're jacking the numbers on paper for the what do you call it, what's the GPI or the index for the country's growth and shit like that. So basically, they have to fudge the numbers by bringing in immigrants galore. So my old city, which was like an all-white city when I moved in, it's a third of it is African now. And
Are you talking about the net, what is it, profit of the country?
Yeah.
Like how much money they're making?
Yeah, so they have to lie. GDP, thank you. So apparently they're fudging the numbers by bringing in so many immigrants that it affects the growth of the housing markets. So apartments and housing markets is being artificially inflated by an influx of immigrants who are paid to be here. Like they're getting funding to live here. So it's a pretty much nightmare scenario. Just to go back to say, like, our leaders have basically thrown us under the bus, and our country's going to hell. Like, we're going to need like a neighbor to come in and rescue us or something like that.
And when you cram that many people who aren't from an area into a new area all at once, it erodes the local culture.
Yeah, totally. And Quebec has been known to fight against the English culture, but now we're like open arms for the African culture for some reason.
So, I mean, it would supplant their culture, because guess what? All the immigrants they're bringing in don't want to convert to your culture.
Yep.
No, they're not. And a lot of them are Muslims. Not all of them.
And keep in mind, we are incompatible cultures. With the only ones we're like really compatible with is Britain and stuff like that. Other Western Christian nations.
It's a replacement theory. It's the people who are being replaced.
Also, did you see that the Supreme Court ruled that lower court judges can't stop
yes,
bills being passed in the executive branches and stuff?
Yeah, about time, because that was so absurd, the whole thing.
So, Frederick, if you don't know, a lower court judge, a judge who is in one county or some shit, could pay an injunction on a bill passed by Trump, the executive and Supreme Court, and doing it, and it would hold him up to get time, and it was using it as a weapon. The Supreme Court have now placed the decision, and now they can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I heard about that without knowing too much of the details. Obviously, it gets quite complicated understanding all those
they were doing that when Trump was pushing in the deportation and stuff, and they were trying
yeah, I saw the headlines. I saw how they would push back every time. They're like, we want to keep our rapists, illegal immigrants who are wife beaters, because they have family to beat up on or something.
Yeah, and he also got rid of birthright citizenship.
Yeah, that was this week.
No, it was at the same time. He managed to get that, and then the Supreme Court ruling. So, Jose, you can't come in here. And little fucking, because what they'll do is women will come in here, get banged up, pregnant, right? And they can't get removed because their child here, and their child's automatically granted citizenship. And you can't separate a mother and a child, right?
It's the only time the left is not for abortions, it seems.
Weird how that works. It's almost like they hate America or something.
No, look at Hassan. By the way, that is the biggest thing. The lawsuit with
that's so funny, man.
Hassan Orbiter, specifically now 4. It was 3. Now
Which one's the fourth one?
Oh god, I gotta look it up. It's a dude. It's one of the dudes, and I forgot he fucked up somehow after that. That video came out. And
Yeah, because it was like you have a Muslim girl who's wearing the hijab. You have the pothead girl who was saying self-incriminating like crazy, and then you have the redhead girl who was also self-incriminating a lot. They would just leave their chairs to do the commenting for themselves.
Oh, but it was so much so. Okay, Ethan Klein gave this for the qualifications of why he's suing specifically these three. Now, these three are directly connected to a subreddit on Reddit, of course, in which their whole thing is to take away views from Ethan Klein, and they have all the creators that are either moderators or attached to it, right? So their whole idea is they want to siphon views without giving him views, which is where the malicious intent comes into, because he's suing them because A, they didn't add any commentary really. They watched his entire video without really pausing or anything. And of course, they were specifically doing it with intent to siphon views away from the video.
And they specifically stated that in their stream.
But that's what I'm saying. Malicious intent. It's clear. That's why those three were sued. That's why he's not suing Hassan. That's why he's not suing anyone else. It's specifically them for that reason specifically. Now, these dumb motherfuckers, and I mean dumb, the Denims chick.
Yeah, that's the redhead chick.
Not only does she have the subreddit open, the one he's citing in his case, that they were leading a charge, beforehand, she was saying, oh, yeah, we don't want to give him any views, so come and watch my stuff. And then during the video, at the very end, which, by the way, she removed that stream and cut that part when she re-uploaded the stream, that last part, where she said, I didn't want to give any views to that trash video, so, give me a like and subscribe and give me a Prime if you enjoyed the
Right, so Prime is like a super chat. So she's asking to profit off of it, telling people not to give him views, and not commenting and playing the entire video. So it's like he's giving him all the proof, like a thorough freaking case. And the funniest thing is, I was watching Legal Mindset review the case, and the Kleins have been sued for copyright infringement in the past and won. So they're citing their own case, showing how they understand the copyright infringement law and how their case was justified, whereas the people they're accusing was clearly not.
Yeah, and keep in mind, he's not wanting to hit people for reacting to his videos. He's going for these people because they're fucking malicious cunts who are specifically going after him. And they're fucked. They're going to lose the case. There's no way they're winning.
Yeah, because there's...
You know those videos where they always have that little info blurb because something got brought up in the video, so it's like, here's what authoritative sources say. I think every time Billy Bobsack is on a show, that they should get one of those blurbs at the bottom defining what cunt means.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, and then you had the Casey Tron. This chick, they counted how many bong hits she did, and it's like 40.
Yeah. She took more bong hits than gave comments watching the stream.
Oh, yeah. She did 15 minutes of commentary and 18 minutes and something of smoking. Meaning
Amateur. No.
She smoked 3 minutes more than she actually talked.
Yep. And they all do the leaving the chair and leaving the video running, which is a clear indication that they're not adding any value. And you're not supposed to play the whole video when you're commenting on something. You're supposed to play like the part that's relevant. And these guys were just playing the whole stream and telling them, come watch it here so you don't give him views. So the intent is like obvious.
It's obvious.
110%.
Well, they just blatantly state that if they're just blatantly stating that, then it's obvious malicious intent. They just telegraphed it.
It's going to get worse because guess who he's going to subpoena? Reddit.
Ah.
They already know, I think, like 5 or 6 of the mods' real names.
Oh boy.
They're going to have their DMs, and it doesn't matter if they delete shit, because it's permanent. Reddit's got that in their database, even if you delete it.
Did you guys cover the CPS stuff?
Oh, okay. So this give a little bit of
Okay, so this goes back to a legal mindset. He's the one that recommended this because Ethan
Yeah.
Klein and Gila, they were attacked, and people sent the Child Protective Services saying they were bad parents. So they're giving them like legal trouble, threatening to take away their kids. And now Legal Mindset is saying if you want to get out of this lawsuit, you should reveal who was doing the CPS attacks and pray that Ethan Klein will be lenient on you and
Yeah.
strike a
I don't
deal.
think they're going to, and that's assuming that they actually know who it is.
Yeah, they probably
Even
don't
if
know.
they know, it might be irrelevant because when he gets all those DM messages from Reddit, from these mods of that subreddit, you might find out really quick, easily.
Oh yeah.
I hope he doesn't
true.
settle. These motherfuckers, these fucking leftist cocksuckers, need to seriously face fucking punishment.
I don't think he has any interest in settling.
Well, he doesn't need the money. Ethan Klein is very wealthy.
He doesn't need the money.
I think at this point he's sending a message.
But it's not about the money. It's about sending a message, Perm Funny.
Yep.
And that's what he needs to do. And I think everyone. Like, here's the thing. I think Ethan's dog shit politics and all this other shit. I'm behind him on this.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Do it, man. Do it.
Well, I love the comments on the people that have been donating to them, like Denims. I think she has like a GoFundMe
Y'all
or
have
something.
GoFundMes.
And they're like, this money is for Ethan.
Yeah, they're leaving comments saying, oh, well, Ethan's going to get this money anyway, so this is me donating to him. Either way, like I said, no mercy. Go after these. These are objectively awful fucking people.
Yeah, especially the one that was like talking about Asmongold's dead mother. She's
Yeah.
just very.
It was the Casey
reprehensible.
fucking smoker one,
Yes.
right? She was saying she done worse than that. There's another dude called Tectatron, in which she was accusing or saying that he was a rapist and stuff as well, when it's definitively false. But also on Asmongold. So Asmongold's mother ended up in the hospital. I forgot, this was years ago. And she ended up passing away in there, right? Very sad.
Yes.
She was accusing Asmongold of him being the reason his mother died.
Well, not exactly. It's inferred because she liked a tweet that was inferring that, and then she went on to support that. So it's not straight out that she came out and said that, just to be really clear. Hey,
Yeah.
James, how you doing, man?
Hello, friends.
But Frederick, if your family end up having some horrible, and I like someone's tweet who was saying, "Hey, haha, this is funny," right? I think you would assume I would also be endorsing that.
No, you're correct with the intent. I just wanted to add the slight thing that not to repeat false information, that she's not the one that said it. She liked the tweet and then added a layer on top of that. It's just to be clearer with the message. She's still an asshole.
Either way, they're still awful people.
How do folks get so twisted that they think doing that would be saying those things about
Because they've
someone?
never actually had consequences in their life. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
and they also believe that their politics is the right side of history and that they're the saviors of mankind in a twisted way. So when you're so sure that you're on the right side of everything, everything you do becomes justified. You can lie, cheat, steal, destroy somebody because you're the good guy. See, it's that twisted mentality.
A political slant is not a personal morality thing. I mean, to an extent it can be.
To leftists, they believe it's their moral.
Yeah, because they're currently
that's not
the wind is shifting, but when your side is in power, and let's not forget, the Twitch admins believe the same thing that these assholes believe. So they've got all the support. Like Tectone gets gets canceled for just defending his attacks and saying something like if you think this when you should some message about her being an OnlyFans girl, and he gets canceled, and they can launch attacks against him saying he's a rapist, this and that, and they don't get anything. And he apparently delivered a full dossier of one of these persons to a Twitch admin like a couple of weeks ago, and nothing has come of it. So it's
they wouldn't ban Hassan. Remember, Ethan Klein was banned from Twitch for playing a Hassan video for hate speech. The same video that was also on Twitch from Hassan that wasn't banned, but Ethan playing it was banned because it had hate speech.
All right, time for me to ask the dumb question of the night.
All right.
I've heard the name before, but who is Ethan Klein?
So he's H3H3 Productions. He used to be a commentator YouTube channel.
He's one of the first ones to really do like take other people like hypocrites on YouTube and just kind of destroy their videos. So
you remember the Humongous situation?
I'll be right back.
I don't.
So the one chick was like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Humongous." That was the whole fucking joke. Either way, they were all canceling him, and he was coming up defending him and shit. And then at some point, he turned full like leftist TDS shit. Him and his wife.
Right, because I think I've heard Tim Pool mention him a few times, and I kind of just tuned out because it sounded like he was doing commentator personality drama stuff more than news.
Hassan used to do a podcast together, and it went as long as you thought it was because Ethan's a Jew, so he's very much real, and Hassan is he's a Muslim.
Yeah, so you know where that's going.
So
very rarely do those friendships last. Occasionally they do, but not too often.
Yeah. Well, this one didn't last because, of course, we're talking about politics, of course, right?
Yeah.
And also, of course, H3H3 was friends with iDubbbz. iDubbbz used to be a based YouTuber, and then he ended up dating a chick and becoming a leftist cuck while she's doing OnlyFans. Destroyed it.
Wow. Why is it always pussy with some of these guys, man?
Yeah, and then there's backstory of like iDubbbz stabbed Ethan in the back and shit with Hassan and all them.
For a minute there, I thought you were just gonna stop at stabbed Ethan.
Nah.
Yeah, like, whoa.
I mean, and what's with all these other YouTube personalities named Ethan? There's too many of us around now. I keep thinking they're talking about me. I'm like, what did I do? Oh, that's not me. Okay.
Well, just think of H3H3. It's his original name.
Stab Mr. Klein.
But all this stuff is funny, like I said. And the 3 chicks he's suing, of course, are in the 4 actually now because it's dude. But the original 3, they're Hassan orbiters. So Destiny, that's what he calls all of the people that are underneath him, Destiny orbiters. So Hassan has his orbiters as well, right? They're nobody channels and stuff that he has just glazing around him.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 of them are getting fucking sued, or 4 now getting sued.
Fun.
The Reddit mods on that Reddit.
There's a 4th one?
Huh? Yeah, there's a 4th one. It's a dude. I forgot. I don't remember what the name is, but he got dragged into it now.
And probably while we're discussing this, there'll be a 5th that pops up out of nowhere.
Well, as long as these idiots don't fuck up, man. Ethan made it very clear, and he made it very clear in his each document that why he was suing each one. Made it very clear it's about malicious intent and what they were doing.
And he's got a really good case. Like all the law tubers are like saying this is a pretty clear cut case.
He set that up really well. He planned for that.
Well, he laid a trap.
Well, good, because the stuff goes on too often.
And he kind of laid it out that he doesn't want to have a chilling effect for commentary YouTubers, but it's actually it works the other way around, because if he doesn't come in and sue them, like you'll have companies like Disney and things like that that'll come in, because they're basically watching TV and leaving their chairs in front of the TV.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, those guys.
So it's better that Ethan comes in early
Yeah.
on and stops the people who are abusing it, so that the people who are using fair use actually can
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
do it.
He's trying to set really good precedent.
So on
Yes.
YouTube, a bunch of your like shitty reality shows or like full seasons are uploaded on there. I mean, you can find
It's bad. Yeah, it's just these like freaking lazy reactors. Let's play it, guys. Here, you watch while I go take a piss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
What?
Yeah. Yes. Literally, it's called chair reacts, where they get up and
They leave. They let you watch the video.
yeah,
And
they
then
don't-
I know I've seen a whole Hassan Piker thing where he doesn't even react to
Oh,
the
yeah.
entire video. He's just watching it wholly through, and at the end he says like 2 sentences and moves to the next video.
Yeah, and some of them are arguing that the value they're adding is that they're curating the content. People are coming to them because it's their curation of content that makes it removes the
Oh,
the
brother.
difficulty of
Yeah.
looking for content.
Very loose argument there that I'm pretty
Right, that's not
sure-
going to fly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's wow. It's bullshit too, because I remember those even that like this whole takedown of Hassan, and there's this portion where he says, "What? I'm giving these people, a spotlight, so you guys know about them." And he goes to
the
check.
Nuke thing that he did.
But he went to like check the numbers. You see him like say, "Watch, we can check the numbers are getting views," and then he instantly shifts topics. And like the tuber who was like watching his shit looked up the exact video he was looking at, and it didn't even have a freaking quarter of the views his video reacting to it had.
So if you're talking about the video Ethan done, that was the trap video.
No, it was EFAP. It was an EFAP video
Okay.
where they were just for like 4 fucking hours just reacting to a bunch of his shit.
Because
I
what
like-
And he set up the trap by going to the Library of Congress.
What was the trap
before-
actually, if you don't
So
mind?
here
Okay,
it is. So in order to get full damages from the video, because you get automatic copyright whenever you create anything, but to have all the sides of the law to get damages, he went to the Library of Congress, deposited his video, right, his reaction video to his Hassan video with them. It was it was a
Yeah.
whole setup because
He went through the entire legal motions.
yeah, so
Yes.
he's
Getting
really-
it copyrighted.
to make himself
Red-
bulletproof, because he knew that by making a Hassan video, it would be irresistible for
Oh,
these people who are all pro Hassan to try and steal away his views by doing like the unthinkable, by violating his copyright. So it was just a nice, clean trap that they just fell into because they're dumb and they're
Wow.
stupid YouTubers.
Yeah,
the
and
stupid
I like
Twitch-
this clip of
stupid Twitch people.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, didn't mean to insinuate anything bad about YouTubers. As present company excluded, of course.
Here's the thing:
Of
YouTube
course.
sometimes will actually ban people. Twitch will not ban these fuckers at all.
Yeah.
Twitch is like a pseudo porn site, dude.
I mean, it was still funny the moment they removed the restriction of nudity, and it lasted literally like 2 hours because the entire front page looked like Pornhub.
People who think YouTube standards are bad, you have not seen Twitch. You do not understand.
Twitch
We
does-
have it nice here, and that's saying something.
Twitch doesn't have standards. They just have this thing what they say, what will people accept and what won't they accept. Let's push it as hard as we can.
Remember, like one of the lead on the teams or whatever was like a fucking tran fucker who believed herself to be a deer. Remember?
Yes,
that?
the antler person.
Yeah,
Oh, that was terrible.
that was Twitch.
That was great.
Oh man.
Even YouTube, yeah, we got like I say our because it's Patrick's channel got struck down this week.
I heard.
During the commandos. 15 minutes in, we're showing the same things we showed on our channel, on my channel. So Ben Fusebox was on talking about his campaign again, and we showed one of his pirates who was holding. And I'm gonna be careful with my words, but he was holding a pew pew in the drawing. And we were talking about that, and I think they were talking about different types of pew pews. I sound like a fucking retarded toddler when talking about this, but that's the state of YouTube. And boom, his channel went down for I think it was a 24-hour or 48-hour thing. And so we had to migrate to Carbon Heart's channel and start to stream up again to be able to get the show done. And
It might also have
Wow.
to do with the size of your channel, where actually YouTube bots really pay attention to what you're saying.
well, he's got like 600 followers, so it's not a whole lot more than mine, like about 4 times the size of mine. And John Malin was hit with the same thing like the week before. And,
That doesn't make any sense, though. There are channels that sit there and talk about guns all day long, different types, different
Yeah.
things, accessories, the whole 9 yards, and they have no problems.
Not live streams. You can
Oh.
do a pre-recorded show with guns, with weapons, firearms, but you cannot do it on a live stream. They want to prevent people from
Wow.
breaking out having a situation where people pull out something during a live stream and do something stupid. So it's okay to do a pre-recorded show with it. That's fine, but you can't do it on a live stream.
But you were
But I
talking
thought the
about
last time
Shine,
someone pulled something out on a live stream and did something stupid, it was a guy named Tubin.
right?
I don't know who that is.
the TV guy. Wasn't that CNN or something?
I don't know what news station it was, but he thought his camera was off and he was wrong. Yeah. Our conversations
Okay.
go pretty much anywhere. How do we get on this subject?
I was actually just thinking, I wonder what Tubin said. But then, yeah, he started talking. What did Tubin say?
I think he ended up saying sorry and he just went about with his job like nothing ever happened.
No, like on air when he didn't know people were listening. Who the hell do I care what he says after?
I don't remember.
Oh, good for him. I never heard of him before. There you go. Tubes. Frederick, what are we drawing today?
So I am inking page 22 of the comic book. I really fucked up because I inked it all upside down, unfortunately.
Really?
So it was supposed to be the other way around, but somehow I fucked up. Really
Tell
bad.
me how that works, where once you start inking upside down, you got to stay like that.
Well, I might have used it. Maybe if I use this trick here. Oh,
There you
it worked. There we go.
Oh wow.
I was going to say.
Whew.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Christ
it's
diverted.
an old technique, but it works.
Yeah. So that's the Russian Asian, right?
Yes. So she's on the Asian side of Russia, which is
Okay.
why sometimes she looks Russian, sometimes she looks Asian. But
What's with the shoulders?
she's got like a furry coat kind of a thing. So she's got like a
yeah.
fur coat, but just around the shoulders.
Yeah, very Russian.
So looks like pom-poms a little bit. Well, it's superhero costume design. You got to make it look
Mhm.
interesting and bombastic.
So this is her official costume here?
Yeah, at least for the first issue. I mean, she's going to have a wardrobe change at some point. But this is how she's dressed when we see her, because it's her official design. She's got the butterfly monarch butterfly symbol on the belt and on the hat. They're representing her psychic powers, and she does have like a little fantastical butterflies flying around that kind of represent her powers there.
All right.
And she's trying to run away from the Tiger Twins, those two Chinese kung fu trackers who are after her because she's a valuable asset of the henchman of the big baddie. I mean, and now she's got it stuck on the rooftop, and she's probably doomed there unless someone intervenes. And there's only 2 pages left to see how it's going to turn out. So
Dun,
stay
dun, dun.
Oh,
stay
shit.
tuned.
It's probably the Badger. Thinks the Badger.
Maybe no spoilers.
Now, you say butterflies are her thing? Like,
Yes.
so it's I'm practically begging you already. At some point, you got to do some stylized thing where it's her eyes as a design on butterfly wings or something. Because
Oh,
look at
yeah.
those eyes.
Yeah, she's got. How can you resist the beautiful Russian Asian eyes like that, right?
Patrick can because it's a woman.
The
I can because it's
Russian
drawing.
raisin eyes.
Poor Patrick. He's not even watching the stream and he's getting flagged.
Ah, that reminds me.
And what was it? 2 weeks?
When he's got his Band of the Crow copy.
Who Otter? Yeah, I got mine like this week. Haven't read it yet, but as soon as we set a date, I'll hit the book and read it through.
No,
So-
what was it? 2 weeks ago, I think John A. Douglas's channel got taken down.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Maybe they're going after the comic skaters one by one.
He's not Comicsgate though. He's anti Comicsgate. He
Comic
really-
bookers one by one.
Yeah, no, he thought it was Comicsgate guys flagging his channel for opinions.
Yeah, I don't buy that because
But
the
it turns
comics.
out that's not what happened.
Yeah, no, because the Comicsgate guys are like super anti-flagging and anti-censorship.
Yeah, because I think he might be mixing up. There's a whole bunch of people who went after, like, this has to do with a beef between Comicsgate and Rippaverse of some sort, right?
Well, I don't know anything about the John A. Douglas situation.
'Cause I think he was defending. Right before his channel came down, he was defending Rippaverse to some Comicsgaters or something, and they got into a heated debate. So that's why he thought. But remember, there was a whole bunch of people before Comicsgate who was constantly going after Rippa just because they didn't like his political opinions. So they were trying to pretty much undermine and sabotage his efforts to get the Rippaverse launched just because they didn't like his opinions on politics.
I
So
never saw
I-
any of that. I've never seen
Yeah.
that.
But
All I saw was
I think he
Rippaverse.
might have been getting Comicsgate and that crowd confused because
Yeah, because what I saw was when everybody was, to my experience, everyone, including me, was supporting Rippa when he came out with his first book. Then
I was.
Then it came out that there was some issues with the first book having 3D assets, and people were like, his clients had legitimate concerns, and he was blocking them on Twitter, and basically blocking people who had supported him and calling them haters. And he kind of made his own enemies online by behaving the worst possible way you can with people who just have legitimate complaints.
Yeah, but before
I feel
Comicsgate took issue with him, there was a whole bunch of people doing a lot of sick stuff. I didn't realize the difference between the two factions myself when it was first happening.
So
I never-
I feel like
I
this.
never saw
You
that.
have bad actors in any community ever.
Yeah,
I don't think any actual comic gate creator is advocating for any of that shit.
no, I don't think so either.
I think
But
it's just-
there was a group that was going after Rippa and I think they were getting lumped in some people's minds with the Comic Gators, and I think
No, because the Comicsgaters were supporting him. He was part of Comicsgate when he launched his first
Yes.
book. So this sounds like revised history. I was following Rippa when he came out with his
No.
first book.
Frequency, I think, is referencing to something that happened recently with John A. Douglas, is what he's talking
Yes.
about.
That's what I'm saying. There was a group of people before the whole Ripper versus Comicsgate issues that are happening now. There was a group of people before all that was going after Rippa, and then Rippa pissed
Who is
off
this group? Who's this group?
the old school Twitter mob. They were when he first launched. When he first launched, there was a whole butt ton of like haters just going after him because of
No,
Like,
I, mean,
actual
I was
fandom.
there. I was supporting
not
his book. I never saw any of that. Did you,
No?
Billy Bob? You supported the book as well. Did you see any
There,
of
were-
that?
there were a lot of
I think
haters.
he's referring to like actual fandom, that YouTuber and stuff. If I remember correctly, it was.
Yeah, the people who hated him on his YouTube channel before he even started that.
Then
are
again,
the
some
ones that
people
were going
weren't.
after him.
Yeah, there
Go
were
back,
people
some of
mad
them
at him for
were
being an independent that was actually doing something, because a lot of them were like failed people.
It was the woke tards that were going after him.
Yeah.
But then later on, the other stuff happened where you have the rift that you see now, and people were myself included. I mixed up Comics Gators and the woke tards because I mixed that up. There was two different groups going after him for different reasons, and I thought it was just all the woke tards when it wasn't. It was, hey, these are people who were supporting him and got pissed afterwards for stuff he did. That's a different group, but they don't go around. That group doesn't go around flagging people and stuff like, as you said, Frederick. They're not.
No, they're kind of they're anti-flaggers, if anything else. So if you talk shit about them, they'll welcome you talking shit about them, and they'll EFAP you talking about shit about them, and then talk shit about you, and then they'll do a back and forth. They're not the flaggers.
Exactly, but I was wondering if maybe Douglas thought that was like that, and the woke tards were one and the same. They're not. They're clearly not. But anyway, it turns out that it wasn't a flag operation that got his channel taken down. It was, I think, it was because he had someone on his show, on his channel, who's had their own channel banned. But the real kick in the butt was that he had this guy on his channel before he was banned. He got banned afterwards, and then they saw this guy on one of his shows and took his channel down.
Oh my
The guy wasn't banned at the time he had him on, you know?
Yes, but this is YouTube. YouTube doesn't care about context.
YouTube, they just they banned another channel that's like in the Bitcoin community. He's a guy called BTC Sessions. He is like the main resources for how-to videos.
Yeah.
So every time there's a wallet, he'll do a how-to video, how to use this, how to use that. And they just banned his whole channel. It took like 24 hours before like an army of Bitcoiners, Bitcoin Twitter users that went on Twitter and then were like, you got to release this channel because it's a fucking resource and you're just absolutely wrong for Twitter's got it's trigger happy to cancel channels lately, you know?
Yeah, MXR needs to get off of YouTube as well.
Yeah, he was.
Meanwhile, we got our little corner over here where we could say retard as much as we want and not get in trouble.
I'm curious if YouTube has like a ban season, or maybe they just push out orders for more bans.
Yeah, they used to during the elections.
Yeah,
before the
election
elections and
cycles,
things
they
like
love
that.
to do that.
But now's a different thing.
Now it's just
Perhaps
random.
it could be the political situation, but again, they're not flagging things in relation to anything political, though. So
Maybe it was just they sent out their bots and they told them to be more sensitive on guns, and then boom.
Yeah, I think a lot of it does have to do with channel size. Because like my
It
channel
was
has,
shooting up very
I
quickly.
say faggot, I say all kinds of shit on mine, and I've shown all kinds of shit on mine.
yeah, but Patrick's channel is below 1,000. He's not even monetized.
I know he's not monetized, but he is bigger than ours.
And
Still,
he was growing. He was
And he
growing
gets-
at a rapid pace.
so
Or he
might-
could have just got attention on another platform from somebody who works for YouTube.
I mean, to be
Well-
fair, it could have been like a lefty moderate or lefty.
Well, yeah, there's anti-comics gators that love to flag channels. So we know that for a fact. So Patrick suspected that might be a thing, but there's no hard proof. So it's either an automatic flag from a scripted event or somebody kind of saw an opportunity, flagged it, and then the algo took it out.
It's probably a flag.
Could be both. Yeah. I hate to accuse people before I got proof on these things, you know, but that's where I'm at.
Like I said, my theory is when you're a small channel unmonetized, you can get away with a lot. It's until I think you get monetized or get a bigger.
Yes. So make sure not to subscribe to my channel, folks. We
That's
want
right.
to keep it small.
Keep it underground.
Just the cool kids are subscribing to my channel. So
Like I said, naughty words that you're not supposed to say on YouTube. We get away with saying it all the time.
We say
kinda
all the
funny.
naughty words on my channel in French. That's how we
bots
get
don't
away from
care.
the
The
algorithms.
channel's too small.
Yeah, but I can't say the word faggot in French. It's just French.
They probably
Yeah.
also like soft block you as well.
What's kind of funny is I've gotten all sorts of little dings and notifications off YouTube. Rumble hasn't had a problem with anything yet.
I don't like Rumble really.
Yeah,
has
we're
a
talking
bot
about
and stuff.
on the Commandos. We're talking about streaming on Rumble as a parallel now.
The problem with Rumble is just that fucking UI, man. It's such a mess. And I
Yeah.
couldn't tell if someone liked the video or how many likes because it didn't make sense. And I don't think you could really tell views either. The last time I checked.
Yeah, YouTube has great UI, crap policy. Rumble has crap UI, but great policy. They actually, at least they like their creators over there. Rumble's awesome for that.
I wonder if they're still a success. They're eventually going to have to close
I don't know, man. It doesn't really seem like it's growing.
because they kind
I
of.
think YouTube's kind of might be fixing to boot us all out sometime soon anyway. They want to just become cable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now, if you pay for YouTube, you still get ads for YouTube Premium.
They wanted to become cable. That was a couple of years ago. I'm not sure that's still the same plan because I think their subscription model basically failed.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to try and start. You know how Netflix started making their own movies. I think YouTube wants to do something similar.
They have been doing that. They've done
Yeah.
It's I don't see it.
Didn't go well
working
last
too
time.
well.
They basically hired a bunch of YouTubers, threw shit tons of money at them, make small
Yep.
little movies.
It was called YouTube Red.
Yeah. That's also like I think the only good thing I ever seen on that was the Karate Kid show Cobra Kai.
Oh
think
yeah, that's where it
really-
launched season 1. I remember that.
That's
and
the
then
only good thing to come out of YouTube, Red.
and they
Everything
went to
else was
Netflix
pretty
straight
crap.
off season 2 or something, right?
Yeah, it went straight. I think it was actually like season 3 when it finally hit Netflix, and then it had a resurgence because just all these people who never used YouTube Red started watching it. And they're like, "Oh shit, this show's actually kind of good." That's funny, but it also could be a good plan if you got a good show. Re-release it to a
God.
larger audience.
But they're probably going to want to just start pushing as far as visibility more and more, the bigger corporate stuff, and just start
They
kinda
do.
Well, they've been
tossing
doing that.
smaller creators to the wind entirely.
Well, like you go to Google, and the first thing that shows up is an AI search or an AI result, and we're kind of getting that way on YouTube as well. Because I don't know if you guys have run across them, but it's like a YouTube video, and it has Tuvok from Voyager's voice on the video reading off a script because it's just an AI voice repeating whatever the words were that were given to it.
Oh, don't get me started on the AI history channels. Don't. Don't. They're the bane of my existence. There's all these channels out there, and it's all AI generated images and
Oh, yeah,
AI
those are-
generated voices. And the worst part is it's not the
Scripts.
voice, it's not the image, it's the script.
Mhm.
It's basically a garbled mess from Wikipedia, which is already historically inaccurate to begin with. And it is so bad. And it just people just click on it and start watching them. Now, most of them haven't taken off, but there are a few there that the people click on it. It's like somebody saying, "Oh, we have blank at home. This is blank at home," and everybody just clicks automatically. It's like the grandmother buying the generic video game because the kid wants the Atari, so we're gonna buy the game, the Action 52, and it's like, oh god.
And it's not. They're not just on YouTube anymore.
It's
I forgot
everywhere.
what streaming service my grandmother put
Half
one
the
on.
commercials are that way now.
Half
Well,
the
it was
commercials
on
are now AI.
was it on Netflix or HBO where you had the King of England who was black and in a wheelchair, probably
Oh, wow.
gay as well, you know.
Surprised he wasn't Muslim.
What my grandma ended up watching was a Sasquatch documentary, and it was all AI, dude, AI images and everything.
Gosh.
Oh,
It was so annoying because it kept repeating the exact same phrase
Information.
back to back to back to back to back.
Oh, jeez.
I am
I was having to do cooking and shit, and I had to eventually go, just fucking turn it off. Jesus.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
get
'cause-
me started with AI writing because it really is the worst.
Yeah. There's
and-
multiple layers of AI.
And it's everywhere. It's like it's kind of like what Readout said. You know, you don't mind the images too much. You can get used to the voices, but the
To a point.
writing, those terrible scripts ruin everything because you can have everything perfect and keep the shitty AI writing. The video will still be shitty because it's that writing.
Yeah, as soon as I hear Tuvok's voice, I pause the video and go to something else because, unfortunately, he has a great voice. He's probably, hopefully, making a lot of money off of
Sure he
allowing people to use his voice. But oh, geez,
Mhm.
it's getting tiresome now.
And there was a comic book channel that did like 10-minute videos about what would happen, versus battles. But the voice, the script was read off in AI, and they were doing it in the voices of other well-known comic book tubers' voices.
Oh wow!
And what ticked me off was like, it wasn't even a week after Comic Storian had passed that they were using his voice on one of their new ones. And
Oh, dude.
it
that's-
turned my stomach.
Yeah, I saw one, and I know the guy who did the fucking channel as well, which pissed me off. I unsubscribed from him because I used to love his channel. He took what's the great comedian who passed away recently, like a couple of years ago? He did a news. He did news.
Norm
segments.
Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald.
So he did a Norm Macdonald video with AI. And not only was it not funny, it was so bland and disgusting. You're like, the dude just passed away. He was one of the funniest
Right, he just
comedians on
died.
earth. You're using his image to do this bland bullshit that's not even funny. I got so offended, I unsubscribed and blocked his channel. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
they-
way too far.
The reason they do that is just because that person just died. Therefore, people are going to be searching their
It's
name.
for the
and
click.
Yeah, it's for the click. It's for the clickety click.
Welcome to the age of slop. Make the slop to get people's attention. It doesn't matter if people were voted to slop, but they did look at the slop. They did taste it for a brief moment, and that's all that matters.
And then
Right.
every once in a while, though, there is a decent AI channel.
Oh,
One
yeah.
I like is
Oh, mine.
yeah, James has one for his music,
Yeah.
for tribute songs to
And I
classic
wouldn't
heroes.
necessarily say it's a full AI channel because I do all the editing myself. Like the songs are AI, but every video you watch was edited by me.
The Dagoth channel is very good.
That one's also good. You know why? Because the writing's good. That's why.
The one I like is Multiversal Wisdom, and I think most likely somebody wrote the script, and it's all Batman contingency plans for all these other characters or reaction to characters from other fictions.
And I'll tell you this.
I think somebody's writing the script and just using the AI to simulate cartoon Batman's voice because it does sound a lot like Kevin Conroy, but not exactly.
The interesting thing with AI is this is actually why I hate it the most because I have, messed with all the AIs out there and I've tested them for their writing capabilities. Frankly, with the books that are being published now by mainstream authors, half of AI's literature could beat theirs in quality if you only had someone continuously scrutinizing it. And this is the thing. All these shitty AI channels, they're not scrutinizing any of the writing. They're hitting enter after putting in a prompt and copy pasting everything. When when I'm making any of these songs, I do use AI for the initial lyrics, but then I read them off, I change some stuff, I spend maybe upwards to 40 minutes on morphing the lyrics themselves to make them that shitty. And then I spend upwards to like 2 hours hitting the generate button on the AI thing just to find the perfect voice and beat. And I usually only keep the opening segment because with AI music, you can just say, continue the song from here. And then I make the song one piece at a time, trying to get it just fucking right. I spent up to like 3 hours doing that. And then I edit the video and then I release it. All these other guys, copy, freaking paste. That's all they're doing. It's
They just generate something, whatever it is, they throw it out there.
They throw it out there. It's all about the money. There's no soul there.
Yeah,
Where I
these-
really like AI though is when I'm fiction writing, I'm like, what are the physics on this? What would water rushing at this speed be capable of generating with a hydroelectric generator? And would it, asking questions like that and having it calculate,
Mhm.
it is freaking awesome. It is great for doing research with physics, cause and effect, trying to get an idea of the plausibility. But don't let it suggest scene wording for you. It is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Actually, it reminds me
but
when
tell it
I
not to, it's weird. It keeps wanting to. I'm like, no, that's my job. Back off,
that reminds me when I asked Grok, what is the chances taking in, because I was looking up like the moon and stuff, what the moon does and all that, and I found out that the moon is like perfectly associated with the sun on the other side. And I asked Grok, what are the chances the moon being in its position where the sun is and everything else, that factors into there being life as we know it? What are the chances? And I hit its thinking button and it thought for like 20 minutes before spitting me out the answer of, I think, 11 trillion. And it also gave me like 5 paragraphs worth of information that was mostly Greek to me. But I copied all its information and I fed it to a much more calculating AI. And then it's all like, oh no, Grok was wrong. It's actually closer to 100 trillion.
Now, one thing I used
Wow.
Grok for was I wanted an inhabitable. I was looking for a setting for an inhabitable planet, and the stars Orion's belt. Those 3 stars. One of them is like is something crazy like almost a 5-star system. So I asked Grok, what is the likelihood for a habitable planet to exist in this solar system? I forget the name of the solar system, but I think it's either the mid or right star for Orion's belt. It's actually a bunch of them clustered together. And it said very low because this, that, and the other. And so I asked it, what about a moon of a gas giant? Could it get protection from a gas giant's magnetosphere or whatever and have a habitable world? And it said, the odds are a little better, but still not really all that good. It's not likely. And then I said, what if I'm going by electric universe theory? And I said, oh, there's a good likelihood that a habitable world could exist. I'm like, thank you. That's all I needed. Because
Yeah. Wouldn't
that's
a gas giant, wouldn't it be, it's just the radiation pouring out from the gas giant onto the moon that'd make it uninhabitable?
It depends, There's so much that we don't know. That's one of the possibilities as well. But there's
Well, we do know that
a
Jupiter.
chance that it could actually provide a protective field around it, as far as shielding it from the radiation of the suns.
Well, I'm talking about the radiation just from the planet, not even the sun's radiation from an atmosphere. Because we do know that Jupiter. I mean, we do know this. We've
Yeah,
studied.
Jupiter would nuke us from the inside out before we even knew it.
I don't know. Thought experiment.
Yeah, that could be too. It's sci-fi. Something. This is unrealistic stuff. I'm just trying to get the closest to plausibility as possible.
Let me bring readout into this. How many RKOs can you do to
Magic.
readout?
42.
Good answer.
Oh boy.
It's the Mintaka star system. I'm opening the conversation back up. I'd marked that one.
Mintaka. Who the fuck named that?
Sounds like a Asian cuisine restaurant.
Why not woman taka?
Because we're sexist. That's why.
That reminds me of the bombers that pulled off the Top Gun-like mission perfectly and kicked Iran's ass. How Donald Trump was all like, "Oh, we're welcoming." He's like, "Good job, boys, good job," or something like that. And then you had feminists on the internet like, there were 2 women amongst them, and he used them.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny. Somebody shitty right wing commentators exposed himself during this last couple of weeks. By the way, with that,
Oh yeah. World War III. Impeach.
yes, impeach. I'm like, oh, all right, listen, you might not like it. Just wait, just wait
Right.
a little bit.
Can I get paid every time they say they're going to impeach him? I'd be rich.
By the way, they were
No,
saying,
read out. They closed out USAID, unfortunately.
Wow.
like,
Oh, it turns out that USAID was funding rappers and rappers all around the world for CIA operations to subvert the, to
Yeah.
kind of like, how do you say it? Kind of inspire people for kind of riots and things like that.
The CIA doing subliminal messaging. Wow, never heard of that one before.
Yeah,
Right?
like
But the whole rap scene seems to have been a whole psyop operation.
well, I mean, a lot of it's also in. I mean, fuck,
Yeah.
that's not just the code book of the Marxists and stuff, and the KGB. With the Soviet Union, their whole plan was to infect and rot inside, and then take over.
Yeah, but even the KGB didn't have like Tupac and Biggie Smalls and
No.
Diddy.
But their plan was to get all your entertainment and stuff and go through there and start getting your culture. Not conquer you through soldiers, conquer you through your own people.
Your culture and your toilet paper.
Yeah. And yeah, our toilet paper, the toilet paper wars of 2020. We remember that?
Well, apparently all communist revolutions start with a shortage of toilet paper. It happened in China and the USSR.
Dude,
wow.
New York's about to have some fun. They're about
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
being a fucking commie. That's fair.
Oh yeah, I've got my popcorn.
They're going
And
to-
unfortunately, you will not be seeing any more retracing histories from New York. I mean, I never did any from New York, but I don't think I'll be doing any starting now.
He hasn't won yet. I mean,
He hasn't won yet. However,
Sorry, Tim Allen, I won't be able to go up to New. I won't be able to go see all that cool stuff you want me to see up there. It's a no-go zone for me. It's like
I-
Philadelphia.
It could lead
There's a
to
lot
Trump,
of no-go zones for me. The more I realize it.
It could lead to Trump annexing New York and making it the 52nd state.
that'd be funny.
Oh, Alberta is trying to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why he said the 52nd.
They're not going to get it done.
And it sounds like they may be leaving Canada. But I would be surprised if they actually tried to join the U.S.
even if they don't and they manage to leave Canada, Trump will recognize their sovereignty.
Yeah. Never say never.
And here's the thing: they don't immediately
Part
need.
of the UN.
They might end up becoming a territory.
Yeah, we don't even need them as a territory, just an ally. We'll eventually get them. We'll eventually convince them that it's good to join us. But either way, Canada can't do dick about it, because if we recognize their sovereignty, what, you're gonna go to war against us?
Canada can't do shit about shit. They just had like a digital tariff they installed.
1812 anymore, and you don't got the British.
They just installed a digital tariff that lasted
Oh yeah,
24 hours before
heard
Trump
about
was, Trump was like, we're going to have to renegotiate a bunch of things. And then Carney, who's not even a fucking Canadian, by the way, he's from England,
Yeah.
Prime
globalist.
Minister. He caved in. He's, we'll never cave in. 24 hours caved in. It's a clown show. It's a clown
Yeah.
show.
It's
And
Now,
exactly-
what were the tariffs exactly? What's going on here?
they wanted to, so they're copying the European system. So they wanted to add tariff to digital services. I don't know the details, but that would be like services online. So basically anything digital.
Okay, so 90% of the stuff people use.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yeah. But it didn't work out. It's not,
Christy.
so
Yeah.
How would that even work?
You just add an extra VAT on top of whatever it is that you're paying for whatever it is that you're buying online.
Does any other country ever done that?
Europe has that.
Do they?
Yep. The Carney's trying to turn Canada into a European state.
Clearly. Which is in itself trying to become a Muslim state.
It
Well,
seems like
Canada-
every state's trying to do that lately.
We got a lot of Muslims walking down the street in Quebec City. I saw a couple of women with the full fucking, what's it called? Not the hijab, but the full burqa.
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh.
That is freaking horrifying terrorist shit right there, man.
I forgot where I heard it. I think it was in Ireland. Maybe Scotland, somewhere around that area, or somewhere else in the UK. Women it's getting popular in the country to get pet pigs to keep Muslim men away from them.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's in France.
They were doing something like that in Israel for a while. They were actually taking bags with bits of pork and hanging them up in the public transportation buses because the terrorists don't want to blow up on that and accidentally get their body parts mixed with the pig body parts.
Yeah.
So it was a dissuasion, and it was working.
Wow.
So are they getting like dwarf pigs?
Oh no, real
No, they
pigs.
just don't have to put an entire pig in a bag.
No. With Jane's, the women, are they buying like dwarf pigs?
No, they're buying like full blown big ass pigs, dog. They're
No,
using
they
them
just
as,
buy
like,
the
bodyguard.
dwarf pigs to have in their. They can have a purse pig.
Yeah, I had one of those. They're real cool pigs.
Like Paris Hilton with the Chihuahua.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, funny enough, technically, pigs you can have as pets. They're actually
Yeah.
pretty good as
Yeah,
pets.
pigs can be pets.
smart.
They're apparently intelligent.
Yeah.
So
I
they're
used
just
to deliver to a
very.
guy who had a pig for a pet.
They're
They
just
are.
very-
You just gotta watch it. They'll roll in dead stuff and stuff.
Yeah, they're just very dirty, right? They're prone
Yeah.
to
They
parasites.
can
He
be
likes to come up
clean.
and bonk me in the legs with his.
It really depends. Yeah, the outdoor pig or an indoor pig. They can be very clean.
Yeah, a lot of the slop is talk about pigs has a lot to do with how they were all kept crammed together.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still animals and they'll do dirty stuff, but typically, you give them enough space, they don't like to wallow in their own crud.
Well, no, it's because they bottom like they'll eat anything and they'll be prone to have like amounts of parasites. In
Yeah,
them.
they'll
Oh yeah,
literally-
that's why you got to cook them very thoroughly. And everything they eat turns to muscle on them too. Holy crap! Oh, by the way, Billy, I did find that, and because it had been a while since the way it would work is it would have to be a moon around a gas giant with its own. The gas giant's magnetic field can help protect from the stars, while the moon would have to have its own magnetic field and not be within one of the radiation belts of the gas giant. It would have to be like in just the right spot.
Funny enough, how would you technically still have tides being connected to a gas giant?
I don't know.
Because the whole reason we have it is because of the moon's gravity.
I mean, would it, if it was rotating, I would think so. If it was tidally locked, that might be a different story. That's definitely something I got to look up.
The weird thing is the height difference between the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah,
Is
and
there?
the water bulges out at the equator,
Very interesting.
but I think that's more centrifugal force.
I don't care though, but very interesting.
Hello, Christina. Said hi a little while back. Forgot to.
All this talk reminds me of the episode of Futurama when Bender meets God. Not sure if you guys remember that one.
Yeah, I do. And he was speaking binary to him.
Yeah, amongst other things. I just remember the scene. It was just like this giant sentient floating cloud in space because he's just floating through space. It's like, hey, do you speak English? And then he's like, I do now. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Great comedy.
Yeah, Futurama was an incredible show. Like the IQ on that show was like, top notch. It got canceled a bunch of times as well. Like that
It
show
did.
got reinstated, canceled, brought back.
Yeah, to be fair, it is Fox. They were very notorious for doing that on animated shows and stuff.
Yeah. I
yeah,
do love how they had a different little saying in every opening sequence. And when they came back from being canceled for like another time, it said, it just won't stay dead.
Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, it's the same crew behind The Simpsons, and The Simpsons never got canceled once, and it's been, what, 300 years now that The Simpsons been
That's
going?
probably why the show keeps coming back, to be honest.
True. But The Simpsons was a whole nother beast.
Yeah, it was a much bigger cultural event than Futurama. I think Futurama's finding more and more appreciation in retrospect than at the time.
You know who's been coming back, and I've been enjoying the comeback so far? That's Mike Judge with his first Beavis and Butthead, which was genuinely hilarious and anti-woke. And now he's bringing back King of the Hill. And so far, I looked at all the little teasers he's released, and it's reminding me of old school King of the Hill. So fingers crossed.
He's the guy behind Office Space, and
Yes.
my favorite is Silicon Valley, the
Oh,
series.
that's a good one. I didn't see the
That's-
last season, but I've seen
Oh, dude, you gotta watch it to the end.
really.
I mean, this last season's not the best, but it's not bad by any means.
Story.
Like it didn't drop by more than 10% quality or anything like that.
Nice.
It's still
Oh.
worth a good watch.
James, you know who else is coming back?
Who?
Chris Avalon.
Chris Avalon. Tell me what he did. Name.
KOTOR, the first Pillars of Eternity.
Oh shit! What's he got?
Vegas. He's making comeback as he's, I think, joined the studio that's making like a fantasy CRPG game.
All right.
I'm
This
like,
could be
all
good.
right,
All right. Yeah. Show us
we
your
need
stuff.
an actual good writer.
Yeah. No trends, please.
Welcome, Punished John.
You got to have your body type 1, body type 2, James. What are you talking about?
If I were to have a game, I do have a body type 1, body type 2, man, woman. Put them all in there.
And then you have Redditor mod.
Redditor mod. And it's just like a pile of shit.
Yeah.
You play the entire game as a pile of shit
It's a pile of shit with a fedora.
with the fedora and an internet connection.
Oh my god. Reddit's so bad.
Oh,
did
God.
the mods ever get the people on them ever get arrested finally when they were
Did
like promoting threatening the lives of the Doge employees?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, they maybe had some internal conversations, but Reddit, man, now that was a socialist takeover if I ever heard of one. That shit was crazy. It's like one day you can choose your own moderators and everyone has their communities, and then suddenly, no, this is the union of mods. We're going to give you a mod, and he's going to be your master. You're going to be his bitch. And now we're here.
They're just as insufferable. I've actually talked to a Reddit mod before.
Wow.
They are as insufferable as you think they fucking are.
I'm sorry.
There's an interesting bit of info concerning, like, this leads back to Epstein,
Bixby.
interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Elaine Maxwell had an incredibly popular account on Reddit in the news.
Really?
So she was like a super popular account in the, I forget which subreddit, but like a main news subreddit. Yeah, it came out during her trial.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I know that, what was it? It was leaked that a lot of 4chan moderators were a bunch of university students and professors.
On 4chan, yeah, it was it
That's
was
weird.
the academics that were modding on 4chan, interestingly enough.
That's funny. What's that about? I mean, it's 4chan, right? I thought that's where all the evils go.
Yeah, which also linked to fucking Epstein.
Yep. And probably Diddy somehow.
But didn't a lot of 4chaners like migrate over to Reddit at one point?
No, they modded. There was another. There was an 8chan that popped up.
What?
Because
forgot I
Reddit's not a replacement for 4chan. Because
Yeah,
Reddit,
8chan was 4chan rebuilt, I think, wasn't it? Run by the same guy.
no, not the same guy. It was a competitor, I think.
Oh, I thought it was the same guy. Kind of just rebuilt the whole thing or something. But
Interesting.
the only reason I know about 4chan and 8chan is because, frankly, I love those Q posts. I ate those things up. I couldn't wait for the next drop. I thought they were so much fun.
Here's a question: how old is Comicsgate?
I don't know the whole history of it.
20 years now?
Richard C. Meyer, I think, is the first one.
I
Kind
think
of,
it goes back to 2015, 2016.
yeah. So
It's
the
pre
term-
2020.
The first
So
millennium.
the term Comicsgate was actually a derogatory term by mainstream authors
Yeah.
who wanted to, it was a slur, basically, meaning you were canceled. And Richard C. Meyer, and I think there was another one at the time, they were the first to adopt it and go on YouTube and try to, not try, they successfully launched their careers. And Ethan Van Sciver eventually trademarked Comicsgate so that it wasn't one of the mainstreamers who would not end up owning it. So he wanted to protect the trademark. So
Well, it was a
Ethan has-
millionaire leftist who was going to try to copyright Comicsgate and actually impose it on all the people that were putting Comicsgate on their comics.
Yeah, trademark is the.
They're trying to pull some leftist fuck shit.
Yeah. So basically, Ethan said, "I own the copyright. All of you guys can use it. I don't care, but I just had to protect it." Basically.
That's a good way of doing it. I asked this because it came to me. What would be cool, or maybe cheesy? I don't know. Is like a comic book about Comicsgate history, the first decade. This is where you're supposed to be impressed.
I was trying to think of a clever whip, but I got nothing at the moment.
Yeah, that might be interesting, although some of it was just kind of boring drama.
Well, that's where you get creative and you take the drama and you start doing
Turn the
comic.
drama into superpowers.
Yeah, do superpowers, You can have someone behind a keyboard typing something in a bubble, and then it shows kind of like them in a superhero form battling the other guy.
I mean, it would be a very interesting idea. The reason, like, why my gears were turning and I was silent, it would be like, who would be writing it and which point of view would it be? Because it's one of those things where you have such a lot of drama and diverse viewpoints on it.
Because this actually has to do with comic book artists, let them each write and draw their own perspective of it.
Yeah, but the thing is, artists are busy drawing their own books and stuff.
Yeah,
so
clearly.
It would probably never get done. That's something that probably an editor could put together, because since Comicsgate was all on YouTube, you could probably just put together all of the storylines through archived video footage, a lot of it.
I've been starting to archive my videos because go ahead Raven.
How much of that has been banned though, and like disappeared off of YouTube since then?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, because we were having that conversation about physical media, and I thought, dude, what about our digital media? Like, what if somebody just deletes all that shit? So I've been taking like my favorite videos on the internet and just downloading them and put them on the drive.
Oh yeah, I've got my favorite videos on archive as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I got like a Medicare video that's like 4 hours long talking about some woke shit back in the day.
I just got a new memory stick, so I copy. I have a ton of PDFs, and I've just been putting them on there. Part of it is to save drive space on my hard drive, because since this last move, I've not been able to get my file server back up and running, and I need space to put stuff on.
Yeah, hard drive space is a thing. But anyways, I gotta head out because my dog's bothering me to take it for a walk.
Woof woof. See you later.
Take care, James.
Have a great night, man.
Man, Saturday I wrote an entire chapter, and then I was trying to figure out how to put together some of the next pieces and stuff, and there's probably one of the funniest points in the campaign, and I could not for the life of me figure out how I was going to get it in, and I just had to go back through and work through, because we had just gotten horses. How do we get the horses? Okay, that's how we got the horses. Okay, then just had to work through everything. I think I finally figured stuff out to have a really nice setup for it. And basically what it was, the halfling had taken off with the squire's purse, because the squire had decided to not pay us the money that he was supposed to pay us. And our lawful, so the halfling is chaotic. One of the lawful characters said, well, he wants his purse back. You have to give him his purse back. So the halfling takes the purse, dumps all the coins out of it into her pouch, puts a couple coppers in it to give it some weight, and tosses it back to the guy.
This sounds like a Ferengi, not a halfling.
Well, she's chaos, and so she went and stole the purse, and it was, the lawful thing was that the purse had to be returned, not necessarily the contents. And considering he did owe us the coin was technically ours.
I guess it all worked out then.
Yeah. Well, it was also kind of a power move, because we had just completed stuff for the count, and here it was, his squire refusing to pay us for it. And so it was kind of like, he said that we had not done what we had said we had done, because he wanted to keep the money. And so halfling ended up stealing the money, and so it was kind of a power play. Do you want to take this back to the count and then find out the fact that you're stealing money from people that the count is trying to pay?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
It's
probably
fun getting things worked out, though. Remember I was telling you about using Grok to figure out physics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I think you've seen a little while back that hand-drawn overall map of the area I'm dealing with in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had to figure out. Okay, I have an underground river at the bottom. This is the gold mine over here. Along that underground river, I have this. This is what they're digging for. This over here, I have a cavern that they're using to grow coca plants in aquaponics. And then right down from that is hydroelectric generators. So I went and checked how far down would they be for this to happen, for that to happen, and ended up settling, okay, 4,000 feet down. Is it plausible to have hydroelectric generators powering this entire facility off an underground river? It turns out, yes, with units type this, maybe so many units, but there would be a power drop, so that could be compensated with this, that. And I said, what about the coca farm? Well, I told it the area of the world it was and everything, so it calculated what the most likely air pressure and humidity and all that would be. And it said, with the HVAC equipment in place, doing this operation would be completely plausible. I'm like, whoa, I'm a criminal mastermind. I didn't know it. And it said, yes, even with the how it said how much of this would be built, and this with compulsory labor, which is part of the storyline, that this is absolutely plausible within this time frame. So I was like, I didn't know I had a mind for crime like that, you know? It's like I got this underground facility that, again, I'm asking the computer to check physics, and it showed me where the problems and issues would be, and I said, well, there's this there and that there, that there. Yeah, that should work. I'm like, no. I don't know if I should be impressed with myself or worried.
So I'm wondering if you could use the steam to turn a water wheel that would then end up pumping the water back up to the top in order to allow it to basically have a circular flow.
Say that again, because my internet kind of went wonky for a second and I couldn't hear you.
Well, I'm wondering if you could get the steam to turn like a water wheel or something in order to pump the water back up to the top. So then you could have water flowing down, and then it gets the water flowing down ends up helping to pump the water back up in order to go in kind of a circular manner.
Oh, well, that underground river there is actually fed by the Valpes River above. It's set on the Brazilian border on the in Colombia on the Brazilian border in the Amazon, right near the Valpes River. It's in the Mitu region.
Frederick, do you want me to show you that one mistake in Band of the Crow?
Yeah, and I also double checked to make sure I had things in the right order.
Save it for the review, Billy Bob. I'd rather be surprised or try to catch it myself.
Like I don't want the farm downstream from the generator, you know,
Yeah. Okay.
because they're going to be drawing water.
Yeah, I was thinking it was an enclosed area. I didn't realize it was off the side of the river.
Oh, it is an enclosed area, 4,000 feet down, underneath the ziggurat.
Well, I do want to show the one castle.
Oh, go ahead.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There is some fantastic art in this book.
Oh, yeah. It's top notch.
Who did we just lose?
Readout.
Readout
died. You got Arcane.
No, not again.
Well, I could probably replace him with an AI now.
Yeah, but they're not as much fun as the real Readout.
This is what I was saying, like Berserk level, Frederick.
It's so good, man. It's very impressive. My jaw dropped when I got the first book, especially the fairy tale. I call them the fairy tale pages, like that are.
Oh, the prologue there.
Yeah, the prologue, which looks like a fairy tale book. I was just like, my jaw dropped, and I was, oh my god, that's so cool. And especially considering that the rest of the book holds up really well to the same level of quality, it really impressed me. Add to that the book was like $5. Like it's another one of those sales that are losing money as part of the marketing strategy. So the idea is to get the number one out there at a loss so that the word gets out and you got enough readers that are on board to pay the full price for number 2, 3, and so on.
Yeah, one thing I did think that it could have been a little bit better. I think he could have had a bit more of a lore, like text on these pages when it goes throughout the book.
Yeah. Well, he's looking forward to the review. Like I mentioned it during our unboxing, and he replied that he's very much looking forward to hear our review.
And he's gonna be so confused. He's gonna be like, "You posted it," and he's like, "Well, where?"
And I'm not used to that, and it's probably just being over here on stateside of things. Because isn't it like that over in Europe, where a lot of the comic books are actually magazine format for the size?
They're actually bigger than magazine format in Europe. Although you do have a lot of magazines that have comics in them, but he's not European. He's in the. I think he's from the States.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, that was just kind of different for me. Is the size of the book?
You got your Badlands copy.
Say that again.
Frequency. You got your Ghost of the Badlands copy, right?
Ghost in the Badlands.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same book?
The Ghost of the Badlands comic.
I don't think I have that now.
You don't have it? I thought you backed that one. It's a black and white Western comic.
No, I didn't.
I was about to say, if you had that one, that's what Bond Destiny size is.
Yeah.
And they get bigger. They have.
Yeah, I have a Bond Destiny that's so large that it doesn't even fit on my shelf. Like I have it in another space. Some of them are huge.
Yeah, but I mean, I read through it already, and some of that artwork is just striking.
It's so sad that he's not going to do a sequel.
He's not?
No. Frequency was talking about Band of the Crow.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were still talking about
see you later.
Ghost of the Badlands. Oh, goodbye, Chrissy.
Have a great night, Christy.
Good night.
No, the Ghost of the Badlands has a sequel is being made.
Really? I haven't heard of that.
I think he's getting a different artist.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
Ghost of the Badlands is that by Razorfist?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. No, I never did get that, but I was there when you guys were talking about it. What was it? Almost a year ago now, or?
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about it. I mean, I read your copy in Nashville.
Yeah, Frequency. He read your copy in Nashville. Nah, he read mine in a parking lot. It was funny. Then he got mugged by two black dudes. It was kind of, all around the
It's
night.
another Nashville night.
Now, the thing that's funny is that the cost of parking in that parking lot was about the same cost as buying the fucking book.
It was something. It was stupid. Let me put it like this: the first hour was like $10, right? And then anything from an hour and 1 minute to 12 hours was the same price.
Yeah,
Like
$30 or some shit. Yeah.
If you're there over an hour, you might as well stay parked there and get your money's worth.
Yeah. I mean, it's a touristy town, right? Like all the parking lots were full. There's no parking spots. So
And we kind of made a mistake. First of all, Nashville is the capital of Tennessee. It's not really the tourist area, heavy area. That'd be Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge in East Tennessee. However, we were right at the fucking boardwalk, which is the main kind of like restaurants and all the other type places strip.
yeah, it's the worst place to be looking for parking. Yeah.
In Nashville, and that's where we ended up on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was like fucking hundreds of people walking the streets, driving through it.
A lot of them were beautiful girls in white miniskirts and cowboy boots. So
Yeah, he was blown away by this one chick who's in a black, like skin tight short dress.
and I'd revisit Nashville any time. It was a good experience.
And then he got that one woman who was very, very confused about why he had a Canadian driver's license. I'm trying to buy a beer.
Oh yeah, but that always gives confusion, dude. It was even worse back in 2003. I went to San Diego Comic-Con and went to the Hyatt. So the Hyatt has they had the party with a lot of the artists there, and I got word from some of my friends who were artists at the time, and I went to present my card, who's from, it's from Quebec, and they Quebec had just changed the design of their driver's cards, and the people there at the bar had a book of what all the driver's licenses looked like from different countries, but it was like a couple of years out of date. Because Quebec had changed the design that year,
Oh boy.
it looked nothing like what was in the book. And they were like, well, this is obviously a fraud, right? I was like, why would I make it so different if it was a fraud? So I had to argue for 30 minutes. Eventually they let me in. And then I go up to the barman and I say, give me a beer, please. And it's like, can I see your ID, please? So you get ID'd both by the bouncer and the barman. Because they explained it clearly to me. If they got caught selling alcohol to an underage person, it was straight to jail. Do not pass go.
Oh yeah.
There's a jail right in the middle of San Diego, and it's just filled with barmen and bouncers who let underage tourists come in.
Oh, wow.
You go to jail, a fine jail, plus also the business can lose its liquor license.
So
Very serious. Also, keep in mind, even going back, even 2003, cops would send in fake underage people to fucking catch stores and stuff selling to underage. They would do that shit.
So I know what everyone's dying to know now, Fred. Were you able to drink alcohol that night? Because you're all kind of on edge to know if I had to stay sober or not. Thankfully, my friend was had like older ID or something and was able to get some beer and for me. So shout out.
Yeah, that one place my car wouldn't work. That pork place that we're at for the fucking beer.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
but I had no other issues in Nashville. It went pretty smooth. It's when that's the only time I saw Trump in person. Well, I mean, in the giving a talk, but still, it was pretty impressive. I had to spend the whole day in that room though to because it was a week after the attempt on his life, and so when he was about to go on stage, the Secret Service asked for an extra hour. They had to kick a guy out who brought in a lighter, so you were not
wow.
allowed to have a lighter. But
All right, James is back finally.
I'm back.
James,
Hey, yo.
how'd the walk go with the pup?
It was shorter than usual. It's 115 degrees outside, so it's he got
Oh, wow.
tired quickly. Yeah.
There you go, Frederick. Go to Arizona or
I'm
California.
in Texas, and it is currently only 89.
Yeah. Is it dry heat or humid heat?
I don't know. I've been inside almost all day. It's
Okay,
usually
hold on.
hot, just like
Okay.
dry hot, unless it rains.
Yeah, dry is the way to go. Even with this heat, what it is, I'd rather have 115 than like 90 degrees with 20%
True.
humidity. Like,
True,
no,
very
yeah,
true.
no, thank you.
It's
Uh,
78 right now.
yeah.
My ruler here is 90 degrees, just to give you an idea.
Whoa.
we got all sorts of humidity right here right now.
78 where I'm at.
There's 78 here as well. It says feels like 82, but I was just outside and the air is thick.
Mine is fine. We've been having off and on storms and rains shit the last couple
Ugh.
weeks.
I
I
know they
finally-
say there's a heat wave going about. I hear the usual doom and gloomers talking about end of the world, heat wave, can't you see weather?
Well, that's because you guys are not paying enough carbon credits.
Well,
Don't you know? We've been 10 years from ultimate destruction for 70. You know?
Yeah.
oh my gosh, don't get me started.
I'm still waiting for global cooling to happen before we go into global warming.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, freaking New York was supposed to be underwater by 2015. The scientists said so.
You can even tell in movies when they switch that opinion with the day after tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
All about global freezing.
it is. It's about global cooling.
Yeah.
The entire movie's about.
Well, no,
That's
it
why
got so
old
hot.
people don't
frozen-
buy
That was based on a book, Hypothesis, that was written by Art Bell and Whitley Strieber.
Wait, was that a Roland Emmerich movie?
I have to look it up.
Because he is
Tomorrow.
the notorious. Is it Roland Emmerich? Who's notorious for just taking conspiracy theories. Is like, yeah, you're the plot to my next movie.
2004 film.
Because that's what he did with Stargate. He's like, yeah, that's a conspiracy theory.
It was Roland Emmerich, yes.
There you go. That's Roland Emmerich's MO there. He just grabs shit. He's like, movie. I like this conspiracy theory. Let's make a movie. Literally watch any of his movies. They're all based off of conspiracy theories or shit like drastic weather changes.
Who did 2012?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Was it him?
All I know is
Roland Emmerich, yeah.
Oh my god, there it is. I'm telling you, it's all about the conspiracy theories.
Dude, the whole plot in that movie was the sun had a shot radiation at us, like always, but this was super power radiation that went straight to the Earth core and heated it up. That was the
My
plot.
anybody
That
ever
movie.
see The Core?
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah,
as
that's
sloppy
so
as it was.
that's so silly. The hacker character in that movie is laughable.
Yes. Oh, of course he is.
Your kung fu is not strong.
Yeah, I mean, all hacker movies were really bad until the first ones that did it really well, and it wasn't a movie; it was a TV series.
I know the one.
Mr. Robot. They're the only ones that actually documented and tested every hack that they added in the story. So every hack that you see in highly recommend that series, by the way.
Dr. Robot was the one where he was talking about IP addresses, wasn't it?
Mr. Robot. To you,
Mr.
sir.
Robot.
I've seen the first 2 seasons.
So long.
I
He had
haven't
like a
got to the
gray
third.
hoodie or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was Remy Malek
Yeah,
and
Christian Slater.
there you go. And Christian.
So
Yeah.
they have a.
That
It's
was
kind of like
good.
a mashup with Fight Club a little bit. They
Yeah.
have like this
Nerd Fight Club.
dual personality thing happening.
Well, you know, wait. It's not unveiled till like the 2nd season. What are you doing? Shut up.
Yeah, I saw at least 2 seasons of that. How long did that last?
3 seasons.
I can see because the second one, like, I think they overplayed their hand a little bit by
Yeah, the second one's really got a twist in that one.
the end. Yeah,
Yeah, but they're all good. I mean, I enjoyed all of them.
I watched the last one.
Yeah.
So, Frederick, are you telling me that Saints Row the Third doesn't have accurate hacking where you go into a 3D virtual world as a sex doll to fight?
No, that's all accurate. That's an
Yeah.
exception. Yeah.
Every time I think of hacking scenes for movies, I think of Jurassic Park.
I don't remember.
Hacker.
Oh wait,
The
No, I
blonde
do.
chick, she's hacking.
the Timu Jack Nicholson. That's good, Herman.
You remember that one, don't you, Frederick? Jurassic
Oh,
Park.
Edge.
I forget what the hacking scene is in that.
It's
movie.
at
Where she
Edge.
just gets onto the computer and it has 3D effects of her like clicking on different operations.
Oh yeah, that's what they did all the time. Like
Yeah.
every hacker movie was that.
Hold on, I gotta play Hedge's welcome music. Here we go.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. Better, stronger, faster.
Ooh.
The $8 million Hedge.
We went through a recent phenomenon of this, the video game bad writing,
In
where
movies,
like the esports one.
gamer.
Yeah, well, no. The esports one where like what was it? One of the Law and Order shows or whatever did it.
Oh
Like
yes,
all female esports team.
that dude. I believe that was SVU, and what's his name? Jake Paul was in that one.
Was he?
Playing one of the women?
No, apparently he's an actor. He played like the villain gamer.
Yeah, it was supposed to.
It was
and
a
so bad.
Gamergate episode.
It's one of those things where you're like, no one talks like this. Also, women, you fucking suck. There's like your biggest all female team right now is trannies.
Frederick,
Nobody's doing too well.
did you ever see Hackers?
Well, yeah, I even know one of the consultants on that movie.
Oh, cool. One of
Yeah,
the things I liked about that was they had freakers in there too.
That movie is incredibly accurate on some aspects. Obviously, the actual hacking on the computer
digital world?
screens is
Yeah.
visual 3D slop.
Yeah.
But when they break out the reference manuals for hacking, those are all real, authentic books that hackers would study.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually did a lot of visuals for hacker conferences in New York, which is where I met one of the organizers of the conferences. He's also a radio personality
Okay.
on WBAI. He has an off the wall show, Off the Hook, on WBAI. Off the Wall's another one. And he was the consultant on hackers.
You know, what's your favorite hacker character in movies or TV shows, Frederick?
Lord Nikon.
It would have to be the Rami Malek character from Mr. Robot. I think he's the most authentic, interesting one.
You know who I think is the most authentic and interesting one?
I'd love to hear it.
R2D2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you're
cool.
good. That's a good choice. That's a good one.
Choice.
What? It's not Tony Stark?
What?
I said it's not Tony Stark.
Swordfish is another really good hacker movie.
Yeah.
Is that the one where John Travolta's like the villain and he has Hugh Jackman getting blown by a gun pointed at his head?
No, that's the one with you got Robert Redford and Dan Aykroyd in that one.
Oh, Sneakers?
Oh, Sneakers. Yeah, sorry.
That movie was freaking. I loved that movie.
Yeah,
No,
but
that-
Swordfish was the one with Hugh Jackman. He's getting a blow job and he's going to get shot if he doesn't hack this thing. And it's initially
Yeah.
John Travolta.
Yeah, that one's not as
Like,
good.
Halle
Is it?
Berry in it.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I missed
I've never
the
seen
titles
Swordfish.
up there, but I meant to say Sneakers.
never seen Sneakers.
Oh, it's a good one. I recommend it. I think you're gonna have a good time watching Sneakers.
I'm surprised they never went after Dan Aykroyd for Trading Places.
Was that the Tom Hanks movie?
No, no.
I'm thinking of Big. Yeah.
Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. And he's literally in blackface in the movie, Dan Aykroyd, as a Jamaican when they're trying to switch the briefcase with the dude on the train.
Yeah.
I think it's okay because Eddie Murphy has done whiteface how many times and none of us have ever complained.
So that's
He
all.
pulls it off so well too. When he played an Italian guy, and then over all the different guys he played, especially in Vampire in Brooklyn. He did a couple of them there, but
Well, he played a Chinese guy in Norbit.
mean-
To be fair, he played like 8 characters in Norbit.
Blackface is such a selective outrage. Like people decide they're outraged on a case per case basis.
I know, but you would have thought that they wouldn't have went after him. That was an easy one.
Well, they don't really do a lot of searching. They just kind of prowl around for a landmine and see if you stepped on it.
Yeah, I think it's too old of a movie, and they don't have a VHS
There's a
player.
lot, dude. There's a lot. Like, there's this pocket of time where you could almost make anything, within reason. Like, what's his name? Matthew Lillard, if you guys remember him. He was
the name sounds familiar.
he was a killer on the Scream movie, the first one.
Which one?
Scooby-Doo. He played Shaggy.
Oh, he's the one who took over the voice of Scooby Doo after.
After Casey Kasem
Yeah.
passed.
Mhm.
There's a movie where
That's
he
an
goes
actor
on
from Hackers, I think, as well.
yes, you're right. I forget who he played. I know his character.
He played Emmanuel Goldstein, which is the handle by which my friend went by, who was the consultant on the movie as well.
That's a fun movie, Hackers. It's
I
very
hate
It
fun.
is.
a lot of shit, by the way.
It's really rewatchable.
But there's
it's
this
got-
movie. It's called what is it? I think it's called What Does Love Got to Do with It? And
Oh, I know
in
what you're
it.
talking about. Yeah.
There's this 5-minute rant he goes on where he's just bashing gay guys for 5 full minutes, going balls to the wall, straight for Chad. And I was like, damn, if they ever knew he did this, that's the end of his career.
Yeah, and then Samwise was in there talking
Yeah.
about being a nice guy or some shit in the movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're doing it in character, it's not the same, right? It's like Robert Downey Jr.'s like got total immunity card for his role in.
Yeah,
Tropic
but that's
Thunder.
because Jamie Foxx came out on like Joe Rogan, who was like, "Yeah, it was great, it was good. I wanted him to do it."
Jamie Foxx did such a great Robert Downey Jr. impression too on that show. He just
Jamie Foxx came out
was
and
perfect.
said that Diddy tried to off him in his latest special.
Yeah. I know during this Diddy trial has been releasing a lot of like secrets. What was it? Mike Myers?
Yeah,
on stage.
he's an agent.
He's an intelligence agent.
Yeah,
How much of his movies were paid by the government for some
Yeah.
sort of
I'm
subliminal?
sure Clooney's another one. Clooney's hangs out
Austin
with
Powers was the biography.
Obama all the time.
Yeah.
Who
yeah.
knows? Maybe they just used him to get on sets and stuff in different countries, do some shit, going with
Yeah.
the crew. Leave
I
it.
mean, but it is a bit surprising. You would think Michael Myers would have been one of the Diddy victims. One of them. With it turns out he's not.
Yeah, he's the agent in the room.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
Limited hangout. I'm calling limited hangout on Diddy.
oh my god, if they had the balls, they would make a new Austin Powers movie, and the entire plot is him trying to catch Diddy, right?
That would be awesome.
Who played Diddy?
I want it to
Diddy?
be. I want it to be a duo. I want him to team up with Dana Carvey as a master of disguises, and then throw a couple Wayne's World references.
You know who I would have as Diddy? He's in
Eddie
so
Griffin?
many fucking movies. You know the big black dude from Green Mile?
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yep, him.
Too bad he's passed.
Oh, has
Wayne's
he?
World served
When
like
did he
the
pass?
prototype of YouTube
Yeah,
shows.
years ago, man.
Like every YouTube show is now kind of a Wayne's World nowadays.
Yeah, we're kind of a Wayne's World right now.
Swing.
This is Wayne's Worldception.
Totally.
Extreme
He
close up.
Oh, yo.
He died in 2012. Oh.
Yeah, dog. He played the president in Fifth Element. He was a good man.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
the
All right,
thing
let me
is,
think.
all
Oh.
the people that bitch at us for saying we don't like ethno-swapped characters, not one of us complained when Michael Clark Duncan played Kingpin.
You know who I would pick then, since he's dead? Terry
Who?
Crews. There we go.
Terry Crews is the other Michael.
Oh.
No, the
Let's
Diddy.
be honest. He's the other big black guy in the room.
Now, Notorious B.I.G. was about to switch labels when he unfortunately died, and then all his music that was on Diddy's label became incredibly valuable. It's funny how
Oh yeah.
it's funny how Diddy really made a
Wait,
jackpot.
who?
Big.
Notorious B.I.G.
Notorious B.I.G.
I didn't know who you were referencing.
Yeah, so he was about to switch
Conspiracy.
labels when he got killed. So they reference the Tupac kind of thing, but there's another side of the story where he was going to leave Bad Boy, aka Diddy's label, and just like what happens when an artist dies, all his albums like sell out incredibly well after that, especially when he's a successful artist like Michael Jackson or B.I.G. And they actually worked together, B.I.G. and Jackson. Anyway, Diddy like really made a huge ton of money and then made a song about how he was sad for the death of his friend, which seems very disingenuous in retrospect.
You want to see a video clip of a government agent trying to pay people off in Hollywood?
Go ahead.
Do you accept cash?
I shall be back.
Alrighty. We shall be waiting here, eagerly awaiting to see if he turns into a sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, we're living in interesting times. Like a lot of stuff is coming out.
All the conspiracy theories are coming true.
Yeah, we're gonna need some new ones.
We need new ones, yeah. Yeah,
keep
they're no
in
longer
mind-
conspiracy theories or spoilers.
Keep in mind who came up with the word of conspiracy theory and why.
The
Yep.
CIA. It was Stan Smith.
Oh, what was that one meme I had? The CEI PSYOP, their most successful one, of using Chell from El Dorado to make white boys fall in love with Latinas. Yeah, all PSYOP.
I missed this one.
Oh yeah.
You haven't seen it? Hold up. No.
What is it? Oh gosh. City of Gold.
El Dorado.
Yeah, El Dorado.
Yes, El Dorado.
Oh, I love that movie.
Hold up, I'll show you. It's all PSYOP, man. It's PSYOP.
The Road to El Dorado is a psyop.
Oh, there we go. I found it.
Yeah, to make us want to allow people to come into our country without.
Well, not to make people want to come or just fall in love with Latinas.
Well, that's not difficult to do.
You see?
The Road to El Dorado is a CIA-directed psyop to brainwash an entire generation of soulful white boys into lifelong Latina obsession. If this is true, it's their most successful operation to date. Well, we were kind of already there before that movie came out.
No, man, but it's to
I
it's
was
all
anyway.
psyop, man. Most successful ones, the only one I think that's actually worked. That's how they kept their funding, guys. That's the real truth. That one worked, and they said, "Well, maybe it'll work on another thing." No, doesn't work.
Well, we saw it in the JFK documents that came out a month ago or so. CIA was like, "Where do we get our funding now that if we do this?" And they were like, "Well, we got our funding from Israel now." Israel was the most censored word in the JFK files.
Those are actually some pretty old docs. We had those out for a while now, but it's a lot like the whole shtick where, what is it? It's very niche, but then it hits the public eye, and then they just throw everything out there.
Oh, like
No, but this was a new level of declassification.
No, all the guys I was following kind of shrugged at it.
Anyways, on that note, I think it's about time for us to wrap this up.
That sounds like a plan. Party plugs.
Yep. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. You can follow my short story series where I'll be releasing my 5th installment, or is it 6th? Might be my 6th installment tomorrow for the public.
6th.
My 6th installment tomorrow for the public at worldwithoutendlore.substack.com. Check that out for free. Follow it and stuff. Thank you.
Nice.
All right.
Ray
Rave on.
Oh, you little bitch.
Yeah. So tomorrow on Proof of Comics, we have Chris Fisk coming on. A recurring guest, so second time I'm going to have him on. And imakecomics.com, ratelcomic.com. This is page 22, real close to the end. Come follow the making of the comic. And on Wednesdays, on PQ Vox's channel on YouTube, is the Comicsgate Commandos, episode 69 this week. Check it out.
Nice.
Totally
Raven.
not silent.
I keep trying to show up on Tuesday, but I keep getting stuck in meetings.
You got to cancel those meetings, boy.
Man, I can't get out of those meetings, especially lately. Anyways, people should check out Herman P. Hunter's book, The Revenant and the Cult. Buy his book.
Buy his audiobook as well.
Yes. All right. Frequency.
Yeah, you find my books on Amazon, Haley Star, Bad Kitty, and Bad Kitty Haley's World. Magic-fueled sci-fi adventure. It's good time, good for all ages, and best way to find them is type in Bad Kitty Frequency Studios. The books will pop right up. You can also follow me over on Substack, where you will, oops, I forgot. There, that one. Yeah, this is a short story set in the same universe, artwork by Mr. Frederick Gimon himself, and that's available on Substack under Frequency Studios. You can also follow me on X, Blue Sky, Truth, and Minds, all under Frequency Studios. Billy Bob, anything you want to add?
Nope.
Okay. Glad I could help. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching tonight. This was another good time, and we went into some oops, wrong button. There we go. We went into a few conversations that were quite unexpected, a few twists and turns. That's how we do it here. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like, and if you didn't, we appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you next time, and God bless.
Couple.
Au revoir.
Words, dogs.
Cats. Numbers.
Capitals.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
I shouldn't have drinking that Red Bull because I need to go to bed and I'm not at all tired.
Gives you wings.
That was a bad idea. Oh well.
Red Bull tastes like oblivion.
It was.
Jewish
Don't-
space laser.
Don't mention wings. That's his Frederick's trigger word.
Why
Good
is
night,
that?
everybody.